Hey you guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Kiapa. Welcome back to my tribe. Hold on, do I go further this way? Yeah, that's the light. Okay guys, so I wanted to talk to you all today pretty much about how I've been feeling, and I think I misled some of you guys. So what I want to say is, if you thinking about becoming a surgical tech for the money, then don't become a surgical tech. Don't even do it. And I know y'all gonna be like, yeah, but you were saying it's good money. It is good money. It's stable money in it. But what I'm trying to say right now is, if you're looking at becoming a surgical tech because you think this will be the best route to make the amount of money that you're trying to make, then you're gonna be wrong, because you can make the amount of money as a surgical tech doing a whole bunch of other things. Now, if you want to be a surgical tech, you know, because that's something that you think that you would enjoy doing, you want to do it as a long-term career, it's something that you want to do instead of being a doctor or a nurse, there's reasons to become a surgical tech, but money ain't it. Because for me, when I look at the money, it's just certain things that I'm not willing to sacrifice at this point to make that money, even though it's money to be made. But let's just say you don't have, like, we have different situations. So I have a kid that I want to be a lot more available to, and let's just say you don't have any kids, or you're single, or you don't have a spouse or anything like that, then maybe, you know, becoming a surgical tech might be something that you can do that'll line up with, you know, you. But for me right now, I'm mostly trying to move, well, I'm mostly moving in purpose and not so much in money. And what that means is, there is no purpose. I don't find purpose in being a surgical tech right now. Like, I do understand that it's helping people, but I know that I can help people in different ways outside of the OR and make more money. Or even if I make the same amount of money, I can make it on my turn. Ooh, it's a wasp. So I would just suggest to you guys, for those who are out there looking for or looking into becoming a surgical tech, and you on my channel, first of all, like I said, I want to apologize because I don't feel like I've been 100 with y'all when it comes down to, well, I have been trying to explain that there's more than one way to make money. But what I realized was that I also let you guys know that you can make about 100,000 as a surgical tech. Some people may find that appealing because you don't have to go to school to get a degree. You know, you can be done in about a year. But if you had the ability to create your own business, or to create a business, and you spent a year doing it, and you spent close, even, or a fraction of the amount of money it's gonna cost you to become a surgical tech, you can make the same amount of money, and you don't have to go work for someone else. You don't have to subject yourself to, you know, what's gonna happen in the OR. Because not that the OR is the worst place in the world, but it is, you know, gonna test your patience. It is gonna make sure that you're gonna have to have tough skin going into the OR. So when I say I'm sorry and I feel bad, it's because I've been telling you guys about my surgical tech career, and even though I'm explaining to you that I'm not doing it, and that there's another way to do it, I've been still talking more about the career and not really telling y'all how to not be a surgical tech. I've been teaching you guys how to be a surgical tech, and I'm saying like, no, wait, let me tell you how to do this instead. And so I want to show you guys how to live within your purpose. And sometimes that looks like doing something as simple as creating a garden or knitting a sweater, whatever your craft may be. It could be creating websites. It could be a billion and two things. You pick something that you just do, or that you wouldn't mind doing. So you will hear me talk about life insurance because it lines up with my purpose. And to me, it lines up with who I am as a person and who I would like to be for you, to the person that brings value to you. Do I think surgical tech, me telling you about my surgical tech career and give you my experience and my advice, do I think that's valuable? Yes. If you want to be a surgical tech, yes. But I do have other value, is other ways that I can provide value to you than to talk about surgical tech that might be more beneficial to you. And I think that's where I'm not doing a, you know, I'm doing a disservice to you guys by not sharing with you exactly what it is that I'm doing, because you can see that I'm not working as a surgical tech. Even though I'm talking about it, even though I can consider taking a contract here and there, that's not what I'm actually doing on a daily basis. Daily, I'm working on different marketing strategies. Daily, I'm looking at different investment strategies, budgeting, my finances. How can I, you know, do I need to cut costs here? Do I need to apply more finances, resources here? That's what I'm doing on a daily basis, you guys. And yes, surgical tech did help me as far as giving me the income, the stability, and the income to do the things that I'm doing now. It doesn't help you if I'm not showing you what I'm doing. And so just to be clear with you guys, and not to be all over the place, because y'all know how like 1 minute we doing this and the next we not. I just want to let you guys know that you will be receiving, you know, me trying to provide more value to you in other areas, not just in the surgical tech career space. So we will talk about surgical tech. I will still give you my advice on the career and how to maneuver through the career, because I do have that, you know, experience. But the experience of me being an entrepreneur, the experience of me being an investor, those type of experiences and those type of just me going through that is gonna provide value to you as well. And when I was saying in my other video that I was doing a disservice to you guys, was because I'm not showing you guys none of that. I'm just telling you. And you guys saw me go on, you know, a contract. You saw me doing all of that stuff. And so I think I just got a little caught up, you know, with everything, and not really just being completely transparent with you all, and just really not having a plan. Well, having a plan, but not sticking to the plan. And so the plan right now is to still share with you guys exactly how, you know, whatever it is that you want to know about the career and how I made it through my time as a surgical tech. But what does it look like when you retire as a surgical tech, or when you know, move on and you actually leave the medical field instead of becoming a nurse or whatever other whatever medical profession that you can do off the back of surgical tech. I want to show you guys what that looked like. So if you decide that you don't want to be a nurse or a doctor or a PA or a first assistant, if you decide that that's just not something you want to do, then you have an option to look at, well, Kiafa did it like this, you know. Because what I do realize is that me sharing my experience with you guys is helping some of you, but I think I can help better by not telling you to go to surgical tech school, or at least showing you what it's like to not have to go to surgical tech school or to be a surgical tech. I had a great time being a surgical tech, you guys, I'm not gonna lie. But I know for a fact that had I had a different way of making the amount of money, I would have did that. I'm not gonna sit here in front with you guys and pretend like, you know, oh, I would have just being a surgical tech, even though I knew exactly what I was doing. I didn't know that I knew how to market. I didn't know a lot of stuff that I learned how to do, you guys. I learned it, and it still took a while for me to realize that I knew what I was doing, and to actually have trust and faith in myself outside of being an employee, because we know that there's a safety net when it comes down to being an employee, that every 2 weeks or every week that I'm gonna get paid, even if I don't sell any items, even if I don't connect with any people in my business, as long as I got a job to go to, I'm good. And I challenge you to try to create something without being an employee, because that's the challenge that I'm facing right now. But what I'll say is I've had years to learn how to market, learn how to create email lists, learn how to create funnels, learn how to do social media marketing, YouTube video marketing. I had running ads. I've had years of experience with this at this point, and I've also had the, you know, the opportunity to have a career as a surgical tech that provided me the stability to do so. So I'm not here to take anything from being a surgical tech, but I want you to know that it's other ways to do it. And the way that things are set up these days, you don't even have to go to school. You can be a life insurance agent if you want to, and that just requires you to pass the test. You can be a real estate agent, and if you don't want to do any of those, you can sell. You can be an affiliate marketer, you can be a YouTuber, you can be a podcaster, you can create websites, and there's just a number of things that you can do these days that do not require you to go to school. And since y'all on my channel, I should have been sharing the way that I know how to do it with y'all, instead of just talking about being a surgical tech. Because me and you both know that I ain't gonna get rich doing that. It's not gonna build the type of wealth that I'm trying to build at this point in my life. And so I want to share my journey with you guys some more, and I'll be doing that. But I just want to just come and be, you know, a little more transparent and let y'all know, like, you know, my bad for not really giving you everything, like, not everything, but sharing more of the game with you, and just only showing you, like, okay, yeah, I'm an employee. Even though being a travel surgical tech will provide you a better tax benefit, but it still puts you in the category of being an employee. So I would say go from being a surgical tech, a staff surgical tech, to a travel surgical tech is definitely a progression. But once you start making the money of being a travel surgical tech, what else do you want to do with that money? Like, okay, so you making the money, you're only working for 3 to 6 months out the year. I wouldn't work more than 6 months out the year, and I would take the money that I make, I would live off as little of it as possible, and the rest of it should be going to some type of investment, whether it is your business. I would do business because I know you're gonna get more money on your return, but I would do some type of business, or even if you want to put it in the stock market, you can, but you won't get the type of return as fast as if you was to invest into some type of business. But I would do a business, and then I would take the money that I have reinvested into itself for a couple years, and then, you guys, I would just not be a surgical tech. I wouldn't work as a surgical tech. Now, understand, you can always go back being a surgical tech if you need to, but if you just take the time to go through the trials and tribulations of becoming an entrepreneur, especially these days, and the skills that you gonna learn by being an entrepreneur, you will be able to take into any business. So it won't matter what you want to do. You can just pick and choose, like, okay, I'm gonna build a business around gardening, I'm gonna build a business around taking care of chickens, I'm gonna build a business around homeschooling. Like, those are all opportunities that I have because I learned how to market one business that I'm not even pursuing anymore. I learned how to market one business, and I was able to take that skill and apply it to different interests of mine. And that's what I want you to see that you can do. And no, going to surgical tech school does not offer me that skill set. That's not a skill set that I learned in the OR. It's not a skill set that marketing and advertising and sales, those are not things that you learn as a surgical tech. But the most wealthy people, besides the ones that inherit it, they have a business. And in business, the two things that's going to drive your business is going to be sales and marketing, as well as making sure that you have some type of budgeting, making sure that you know how to budget. And that's one thing I noticed, a lot of us, we don't really know how to budget our money, and that's why we be stuck in this rat race of going to work every day and hating our jobs. So once you learn how to budget your money, if you budget your money correctly and you live off as little as possible, then you can go ahead and apply the money that you do have to other aspects of your life that's going to give you the return that you need to create the lifestyle that you want. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. It's hot out here, so I'm going to go in the house. But I wanted to share with you guys that, you know, first of all, my bad. Second of all, if you want to be a surgical tech, then be a surgical tech, but don't do it for the money. Third of all, there's other ways to make money out here, and there's ways, if you're willing to make a little bit less money up front and have a better quality of life, then you'll appreciate this. Now, what I would say is surgical tech will give you the money up front, but your quality of life might be questionable because you got to go to work, you got to deal with people and their attitudes as far as the staff or the doctors or whoever, the nurses, and that's just not a quality of life. That's not a lifestyle that I would prefer to live. And as a 37-year-old woman, I'm more looking at the quality of my day, and my day does not consist of me having to please or make sure that somebody else is happy. As long as me and my kid happy, and we living within a purpose, every day has some type of intention behind it, then that's all that matters to me, you guys. They can keep the money. I'll take the pay cut for the short term on the front end, and I'll learn how to, you know, make my money the way that I know that will provide me the quality of life that I would prefer. So I just want to invite you guys to, you know, come along with me on this little journey. And even though it may be a little bit of a change on the channel, not like a huge change, just me promoting more of entrepreneurship, me promoting more of investment, me talking more about how to budget your money, and probably budgeting probably gonna come to the forefront, and just how I budget. A couple months ago I tried to make a couple budgeting videos, but my budget has changed since then. And I want to show you guys that if I can do it, you can do it too. But you just may have to humble yourself a little bit. You know, it's nothing wrong with being humble. So humble yourself, and then take, if I can invest $2,000, $3,000 a month, and I can only live off $25,000 to $3,000, like I only really need $7,000 to $8,000 a month, and really anything above that is just cushion. So I want you guys to come along with me on this journey. I hope it doesn't, you know, have some of y'all want to unsubscribe, but if you do, that's okay too. And yeah, you guys, so I'll catch you on the next video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Bye guys.